Carl, we're discussing Die Hard today. Thoughts?
I mean, look, it's two bald men.
Yep.
I get why you'd get confused.
Your grandma rocks at the cinema. It's like, have I gone back in time 40 years?
You're
Help
like,
me, I'm in a
why
time
have
warp.
effects gotten worse? What's going on?
She gets a bit racist. She's like, okay, grandma, we'll go see Bruce
Yeah,
Willis.
let's get you some lemonade.
Yeah. Settle down.
Get you a big jug of lemonade. We'll set you down right around the front, okay? Get you some Valium. We'll knock you right out.
Honestly, a Valium for this film? Oh, still bad.
Be great.
It's a nightmare.
She's knocked out and you're like, use this chance, get her in a nursing home.
My name's Oscar.
My name's Carl, and
this is Who Would Watch This? Welcome to Who Would Watch This, the podcast where we watch a film, chat about the film, and try and figure out who would watch this.
Today, we're talking about Skyscraper. An action classic.
Yeah.
Which currently has a Rotten Tomatoes score of 48%, an IMDb score of 5.8%, and a Letterboxd rating of 2. Oscar, what's the plot of Skyscraper, aka Die Hard?
Die Hard.
John McClane is trapped in...
He's a retired cop from into New York. No. Skyscraper. A security expert must infiltrate a burning skyscraper, 225 stories above ground, when his family is trapped inside by criminals.
Oh, that sounds both original and chilling.
Yeah.
Specifically,
Chilling.
Oscar, we've reviewed this movie before. We teased it for a long time.
I think there's about 5 episodes where like next week's Skyscraper's coming out. Little things kept popping up. I think a new film come up. Like, oh, we should do that and just all this sort of stuff. And then we finally went to go.
Skyscraper can come out.
Yeah,
we promised it enough.
Yes, the file got corrupted. We are now back. We've seen the film again.
No.
We're not that effortless. We're going through. We went to the bin, looked through our notes, went, all right, that'll do, and that's an episode.
It was a nice silent agreement where I went, have you still got yours? Because I still have my notes. And then we were like, do we watch a trailer and re-record? And that's what you're getting today.
Yeah.
So if you're a big fan of our review of Donnie Darko 2, S. Darko, oh boy. Is this going to be the same thing of us being like, oh, I've forgotten what's happened?
See, the good thing is, though, Skyscraper is so unforgettable.
Yeah.
That it's going to be a blitz. Because I remember every plot, beat, and emotion.
Yeah. That's right. Oh, God. All right, Oscar, let's go back in time 10 minutes before we started recording this episode. And we were like, I don't know, who would watch this one? Because we have seen the film.
We've seen it.
All right, Oscar, we're about to review it again.
Yep.
Can you remember what you said from the first episode we recorded of
Here's
this?
the thing, it's last week. I'm trying to remember what I said like 2 months ago, last week. I've seen the film. Who's it for? Well, we're about to talk about it.
I assume architects?
Without seeing the film.
It's the titular the titular title is The Skyscraper, so surely it's an architect's dream.
If you're a fan of buildings, you're gonna love this.
You're gonna love it. They don't leave it.
Yeah. That's a problem with modern day filming. They leave the buildings.
They leave the buildings. Yeah. You don't. I mean, honestly, this looks like it's all shot in a studio on a green screen, so you know they're just in a building somewhere.
As a matter of fact, it's 1 story high.
It's 1 story high, but only with half of the story. Story works in 2 contexts.
Yes, it's a 2-word thing.
Yeah. All right. Is that enough? We'll just start recording the
Let's
episode
start
now.
recording the episode. Yeah.
Cool.
Wow.
Wow, guys, that was insightful.
A lot of insight right there. I mean, here's the thing about that. You really get to know our process, and that's really what we like to do here at Who Would Watch This Industries.
Oh, Industries.
Yeah, you owe me a lot of money for the business cards. It's coming out of your pay.
WWT Incorporated.
We're really pivoting into more of an evil corporation.
Speaking of which, we do understand that Australia is currently the most employed it's been in a while. We do need people at our industries. We're getting a bit of a Google vibe going. You get to ride around on a Roomba.
Yeah, it's a startup with no money, so you know it's going to be good.
It's a no money, but with a startup.
Yeah.
And we have a core idea, WWWT.
Here's the thing, we've already got the website. It's just T.
It's true. Our whole thing is that we just buy websites, and wait for people that are smart than us to be like, damn, I needed that website.
That and fracking. We do sort of those two.
Oh, WWWT Incorporated's built on fracking.
That's the ground. That's the bedrock, if you will.
Oh, absolutely.
We have been fracking.
Everyone knows a good podcast is built on a rocky foundation. Some might say an empty foundation ready to fall apart.
Let's jump into Skyscraper, Carl.
Cool.
We open
on a hostage situation.
Yeah, the stakes are high.
Oh, absolutely. The tension's not there.
The film starts, and I think I remember watching it. I remember being confused because Dwayne's like in a SWAT costume. They're pretty much rocking up to like an icy house.
Oh yeah.
There's like
I was like, "Where's this shot?"
Yeah,
it's so much ice. It's a single house, a cabin, if you will, in the middle of the snow. There's 40 to 1 billion SWAT members there. That's how many fucking people there are there.
Which is ridiculous, because if you have The Rock on your team, you only need like 3.
You only need like 3 billion.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah.
So The Rock's, I'm pretty sure, like, hoisting his way down, like, an ice wall.
Yeah.
And sneaking up, like...
It's a search and destroy, but keep it quiet.
Yeah.
That's the thing, though, baby. You can't keep The Rock quiet.
Can't keep The Rock quiet. I know that they blow open an entire hole in the house, but I like to think The Rock just punched it.
I think The Rock, it got told as a stealth mission, and The Rock just had C4 in his pocket.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm using it. It's going to go to waste. Once you open it, you have to drink it.
I love the idea that he's just like, I don't do stealth.
No.
They're like, no, but seriously, you have to do this once. I don't do it.
You seen Ballers? That was my stealthiest. That was my most subtle. Okay?
You seen Rampage? That's me, subtle. Okay?
I fight a big monkey, okay? It's pretty fucking subtle.
I love that. They've been given, like, they're like, okay, it's a domestic abuse situation. There is a man, he's got a child, he's got a knife to the child or a gun to the child, but he's also strapped with a bomb. So you need to make sure to not frighten him, startle him with loud noises. You need to, if he's got a bomb and he's trigger happy, don't blow a hole.
You
in
don't.
The
Here's
side
the
of
thing: if
building.
you're like, I don't know, trying to save someone from a gasoline like plant, don't bring fire.
Yeah.
Don't bring fire. He's brought a bomb into a bomb situation.
He's just like, look, if we can. He's like, we'll play him at his own game. We'll bomb him.
Yeah, fight fire with fire.
Yeah.
Here's the thing that always works as hostage involved.
Yeah, no, the guy on the phone's like, no, but we want to save the kid. And he's like, how do we know the kid didn't build the bomb?
Yeah, here's the thing.
We don't know. The kid needs to atone for his crimes.
He's got little hands. He can get to the wires. He's guilty. He's guilty. I've already thrown a grenade in there.
Yeah, absolutely. He's like, this is a safety grenade to just see what the go is. Rolls it right to the kid's feet.
Anyway, the kid blows up.
Absolutely. I wonder why.
Yeah.
Dwayne comes out and he's like, damn, another kid lost. Need to stop sending me on stealth missions. It's our 4th kid this week.
Why search and rescues? I'm covered in grenades.
I'm so good at destroy. Why would you send me to rescues?
Anyway, he loses a leg. His best friend gets a bit of a face injury.
Yeah.
And while this is like a 3-minute scene. While Dwayne's like in and out of consciousness, he sees a nurse. He's like, "I'm gonna fuck you."
He's like, "You an angel? Because I'm gonna marry you." Yeah. And she's like, "You've lost a lot of blood, and you need to calm down." And he's like, I destroy pussy, and passes out. And she's like, "I would marry him."
Guy's pissed himself with blood. I'm so wet.
I've never seen a man embarrass himself more. Imagine being like, I've fallen in love with a man the other day I was operating on. They're like, oh my God, why? How did he lose his leg? He blew up a child.
Yeah. And he shat himself on the operation table. God, he got me going.
He can only piss and poo for a bag for the rest of his life, but I'm willing to just take care of him.
Yeah.
I love a wounded bird, if you will. Like, so it's a weird opening.
Yeah.
It all happens really quickly.
Yeah.
I feel like it's just very much a situation where they're like, the open needs to be both action-packed, completely introduce everybody, because then there's 15 minutes of just walking around a building. Walking around a skyscraper.
The titular skyscraper.
The skyscraper of skyscraper.
They got him.
Yeah.
Or her. That's right.
That's true. You can't gender a building.
No.
You can't.
No.
The Rock tries all through it, though.
Oh, yeah.
He keeps on rubbing the floor and is like, you hold in there, man. Stop gendering that building.
God,
Let it be.
You got a great bod, huh?
You got such stern walls.
God, that wooden beam.
Oh, you know, have you seen what's it called, Titania?
I'm not, no.
But you know how she fucks a car in Titania?
I hadn't. I guess that's
It happens at the beginning.
Yeah.
You'll be fine.
Good.
She fucks a car.
Nice.
Spoilers if you're a fan of not having watched Titania.
10 minutes in, they paused to watch Skyscraper, hoping for no Titane. Spoilers, and you've been ruined. Is it Titane? I feel like an absolute cunt.
I think it's Titane. It's whatever the French word is for titanium. So I think it's Titane.
Yeah.
The great film. Highly suggest everybody watch it. But she fucks a car. So I only think in this movie his wife should have walked in on him fucking the building.
Yeah.
It's a really cool shot of the car bouncing. I almost think it would be fun to see the whole building bouncing up and down. I'm going to look up the car fucking sequence before I forget.
We're recording a podcast.
I don't care. It's not about them. We've recorded it before. All right, so Dwayne's taken his kids, his wife, to this big skyscraper.
Yeah.
Right? Thoughts on the actual architecture? Because this is like a city in the sky, apparently.
It's tasteful.
Yeah, it's brutalist.
Yeah. It's brutalist but curvy. I don't know. What is this build? Because so the main thing is like
the pearl.
The pearl.
The pearl.
What's the rest of the 250 floors?
I don't know. I assume storage.
The pearl has a lot of storage.
It's just like fans. The building has to be cool, otherwise it heats up and blows up immediately. So
we've got 4 layers of gasoline.
You know, it might as well just be fans and gas, because anytime they're like, we need to fan the flame, they're like, oh, just open the gas line here and pump the fan. We get shown what the pearl is, and they're like, it's going to be the 9th wonder of the world. And I'm like, this digital computer screen?
It's pretty much a bunch of it's a bunch of just TVs on the wall, and it projects the view, which I don't get. Why didn't they just have like an observation deck? Your glass.
Hey, guess what? You could use glass.
Sorry. It also has 15 mirrors in the ground, so that could be a thing.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Like, it's just, why would anyone care? Because there are other things like
come to the pearls, a hall of mirrors at the top of the. It freaks you out.
I love it. They were like, what if we built a city in the sky, but the 8th wonder of the world was a hall of mirrors, like a carnival. You look of all sizes. How
when you
fun.
go to a carnival, you're like, fuck me, dad. That could be an 8th. If that was thousands of meters in the sky, that'd be the 8th wonder. We get introduced to the owner of the building.
Yep.
Zhang Longji.
Yep.
He has recruited Dwayne. Months after the building's been built, he's gone, hey, safety-wise, how we looking?
Yeah, I know. They're like, all right, and everyone knows the last thing you do is the safety check. I don't know, maybe you should discuss this for, like, the building capabilities to be like... I'd love for Dwayne to be there and he's like, you've got no fire escape.
This is asbestos. A flammable asbestos on level 5 to 98. How did it pass?
Most of this is made out of biscuit. Look! He takes a bite out of the door.
Hansel and Gretel, the architect, like, hey, that's a structural beam. Don't you fucking touch that cookie, okay?
There's a witch that owns the area.
Level 98, don't go there.
Dwayne's like, it's a big health hazard that there's a witch on level 98. Constantly stealing children. He's like, it's fine. You just don't allow children in the building. He's like, but I brought children. He's like, go get them.
There's a
Run.
There's a daycare on level 99. Who designed this building?
Don't worry, her magic only stretches 2 to 3 levels. Yeah, no, he's like, basically, I like the idea that he's like, there's no fire exits, and the rich guy's like, but I've got a helicopter. That's my exit.
His pretty much thing is like, there's no fire safety. All like your safety is pretty much like, we just lock the doors if there's an emergency. Yeah. I think he mentions like the owner's like, hey, cool titanium doors, and like looks down the camera, goes, those are impenetrable. You can't get through those.
It's just like the fact that everything's like the maximum steel and everything like that almost leads to more issues of safety. Yeah. Where they're like, look, you'd never be able to break through it. And you're like, so what if somebody was locked in and going to burn alive?
They would starve and lose oxygen.
Like, it would hold in the heat really well.
Yeah.
They cook quickly. You know, it's a quick death.
This is kind of an oven of a building. So anyway, Dwayne's like, all right, that's fucked up, but I'm in the building. I'm in the city. Might as well, chill. I'll go meet up with my deformed friend who got blown up in that awful accident. I feel like...
Let's hope he holds no ill will to me, considering I basically set off the bomb with my bombastic ideas of hostage situation negotiation. So...
He's been given, like, an iPad. The security guy's like, hey, we don't trust you, but here's an iPad with... everything.
Here's all the secrets to the American government. Assange gave me this iPad and I'm giving it to you.
We trust you, Dwayne. He's got a little bag.
Yeah.
While they're on a
little iPad bag.
Little iPad bag. the bag gets stolen. We get some action.
Oh, boy do we. It's a little chase. I love seeing Dwayne Johnson in a chase sequence. Because that is a man that's not built for running.
No.
He's strong. He's huge. He looks great. He can do a lot of things athletically.
Yeah.
Running's not one of them.
No, his muscles are
they're too big to run.
Yeah.
Okay, it's like the fact that the whole movie pivots on he should run a lot. I'm like, it's not he looks in pain running.
Not only that, but like I think they're clever because they explained it like he lost a leg and that's why he's running weird. But that's just Dwayne.
I do genuinely appreciate having a hero that has lost a limb, and I think there's a lot of cool things that you would actually be able to do with somebody that's lost a limb. They do a little bit in a bit of a fight sequence where his limb gets taken off and he sort of has to like hop around and he uses the limb as like a weapon.
Yeah.
And it just like that's the only creative sequence that's like,
and then immediately he puts the leg on, rolls down his trousers, and like, that's enough of
let's
that.
never acknowledge it again. And you're like, oh, cool. What made your protagonist interesting and unseen before in a film? You've covered with pants.
Yeah, we've gone, don't you look at it. It's deformed and ugly.
We spent all the budget on the building. We cannot CGI out a leg of Dwayne Johnson for the entirety of the film. So anyway, the iPad gets stolen.
Yep.
Except it turns out Dwayne had it in his jacket pocket. He's like, lucky I didn't put it in the bag. All right, look at it here. Woo! And so his friend's like, God, I wish you hadn't done that.
Yeah.
Hey,
you should have let that iPad go. And Dwayne's like, all right, deformy face. I'm off to go help the building.
I know, it's just like, I know the friend that's been injured by the fire is just like, you got everything. And it's like, you could have too. Like, Dwayne just was like, I'm going to become a safety supervisor. Because I guess I didn't have that on the field.
Who knew bringing C4 into a highly explosive situation wouldn't be good. Here's the thing. The guy's like, so like, oh, you took everything from me. He didn't. Dwayne just got married and got another job.
He's like, what, did you not fuck the nurse that looked after you? It's like, I had a male nurse and I don't swing that way.
I'm very homophobic, but the world's against me.
I do like the idea that Dwayne's idea of safety measuring is just rolling a grenade into every room, and he's like, this one withstood.
Yep.
Very good.
Very good.
Dwayne, no, there's children in there.
Don't worry, there's a witch about to attack. I'm doing 2 birds, 1 stone. The kids will be dead, so it's like 28 stones and
just the literal movie of The Witch is happening on the... Imagine the ending of The Witch, it pans out, they're on the 99th floor of the skyscraper in Skyscraper.
Dwayne's like, it's on fire. Flood the room. Just suddenly
flood the witch. No, not Anna Taylor-Joy. Basically, now that we know that the villains set him up, they're going to make it look like the Dwayne Johnson's behind everything that's going to happen in the skyscraper. Lo and behold, the wife and the kids have come back.
Yeah.
This is the huge piece of conflict for the film. Some of the worst writing I've ever seen in a big blockbuster. One, they were going to go watch the pandas get fed at nighttime. They were like, oh, we're going to go watch the pandas for a full day.
They start the morning. It's on the level, isn't it? They have a panda enclosure. They're really They were like, fuck, this is a very large building and we have not got things to fill the room.
It takes a full day to get to the bottom of the building anyway, so they were very late for the panda.
But yeah, they go up to like level 100. They're like, well, we spent hours watching that panda eat, and he didn't need a fucking stick of bamboo. A colossal waste.
So the mum comes back and is just like, oh, we're back from the panda thing. We had to come back early. My son ate a weird candy.
That's right.
That's the reason they're in the sky. That's the writing and dialogue they put behind it. He had a weird candy. It's not even like, oh, he had something like odd to taste. He's throwing it just to describe it as a weird candy.
They establish he has asthma. Just like, oh, we've got the inhaler upstairs. I mean, it's crazy. It's like, I guess we have to scale 100 floors.
Like, even if you're like, oh, we had a weird candy, you need to like prove your point by the kid having like diarrhea through the film.
Yeah, I want to see this small boy shitting himself, or I want him really puffed up. I want a fucked up little kid.
It's just like, what did he sneak away and just started eating anything he saw? And they're like, oh, we're gonna have to take you back. You're incorrigible with the amount of candy you're eating.
Oh god, you've taken a pill. I think it's ecstasy.
It's not weird candy. That's a brownie. I do like the idea that like we got back from the enclosure. My son fed a panda a weird candy and it killed him. I'd love it if this weird candy was a weapon through the rest of the film. Henchmen keep picking it up off the ground. They're like, oh no, my stomach.
Oh, I need to go up many floors to find the solution to this.
I wonder if it's like a bewitched candy from the witch on the level 98.
Why is there so many supernatural fucking items in this goddamn building? Level 150 has just a literal Pandora's box up there.
The Shining's happening on level 3. There's fucking twins everywhere.
There's blood dripping from every fucking ceiling.
You guys caught that blood elevator yet? Don't recommend it. Don't recommend that or the weird candy. It's like how in that line in Morbius that's just like, it's deadly to bats. It's lethal to humans. That's what this line feels like in terms of...
the hard candy injures children of ages below 13, deadly to adults.
It's just a line where you're like, I think an actor should have gone, I don't want to say that. I don't know why Jared Leto was like, I'm happy to say it's deadly to bats, it's lethal to humans.
While crutching on crutches. I've got this in the bag, guys.
But it should just be like, the Naomi Campbell should just absolutely have been like, I'm not letting the whole reason this family's in the building hinge on the fact of a throwaway line of he had weird candy.
I just don't understand. There's something about it, like just they're staying at the skyscraper.
Absolutely.
Anyway, fire erupts.
Yeah, I think he farted fire from the weird candy.
Yeah.
This one does pay off.
Hell's actually on level 173.
I love the idea that every level's a new world.
Yeah.
Just a new world to explore. They're like, oh god, we went to the Lord of the Rings world and it's grim.
It's not the fun Hobbit Shire. It's like...
No, it's all Mordor.
The Rock going around. This is a fucking safety nightmare.
What if
You
the
have
Hobbits
Mount
are
Doom
there?
in level... Oh my god, there's not a single attraction fan.
You got that big eye searching for us on level 11? That's not okay.
Anyway, fire erupts, and pretty much, the safety's awful. They're pretty much like, all right, building's half on fire. We'll lock it off at level 96, and we'll cut off the oxygen to the upper levels. They can't do that, though.
No, they can't. There's some...
But they can lock the doors very securely.
The owner of the building's just like, lock me up here.
Yeah.
Lock me up here with the helicopter.
Yeah.
We'll be sweet.
We'll be fine.
He's like, we don't need to evacuate for ages. We just need to see how this, let's see how this plays out.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we don't want to see the ninth wonder of the world burn. All it would take is some more computer monitors to make it. So anyway, the building's like now half on fire.
Yeah.
Dwayne's like, my family's up there. He's had the iPad stolen from like this woman on the street on a motorbike. This is another one of those things where there's too many villains.
Yeah.
His friend's a villain. This woman on the street's a villain. Noah Taylor's a villain. The mercenary's a villain.
Yeah.
There's 4 villains.
We've got a subplot as well, because they also have like a safety thing like 3 kilometers away. That's happening. I don't think Dwayne even interacts with that. I think it just solves itself.
No, it does, other people work it out.
Yeah.
Like some people that I assume are famous in China.
Yeah.
Who are like, look, this is very much a movie that's pandering to Chinese audiences.
Yeah.
Like, it made a lot of money in China. Dwayne sells tickets in China.
Yeah.
I think it's a China co-production.
Yeah, I think so.
But that is just like a whole plot that completely solves itself without the involvement of Dwayne.
Yeah.
I don't think Dwayne should have left the building. I think the charm of Die Hard is he can't get out of the building.
No, and the charm is like, well, how does he get into the building? Bombastically.
Oh, I hope it doesn't involve running. That's for sure.
Oh no. Anyway, so real quickly, the owner of the building's like, I'm staying in the safe. Don't fuck with me.
Yeah.
He then goes to the window. He opens a safe that's just in glass and opens it. I don't, because it's on the outside of the building. It's like an illusion.
Yeah.
But is there just like a little square safe attached to the building? Like any robber could be just like, I'm just going to take that.
I'll smash the glass around it and just free catch the safe. So easy.
What is this thing in the middle? It's like, it's...
I don't know. I would, if whoever put the safe there, I would not trust them to build a building.
What's in the safe?
I can't remember what's in the safe either. It's a MacGuffin. I don't think it's anything particularly interesting.
No, sorry, I do remember it. It's the ID of all the credit card for the mafia.
What? What is that? What are you on about?
Well, I'll explain.
I don't believe you.
So anyway, Carl, he goes to the safe. He gets out the safe. We get revealed that the big reason why they're trying to attack this building is he has apparently a USB that has all the transactions of the illegal mafia that he betrayed. And he's like, I've got like...
Who betrayed? What are you on about?
To build this building.
Fuck off.
To build the building, get this, the budget was very large. So he had to incorporate the mafia. And the mafia's like, all right, we've got some dirt on you. But while he was doing that, he was also getting the transaction receipts of all the mafia. And he's got that. And that's his failsafe to get out the country.
Oh, this is the dumbest thing in the world. Oh my God. It's nearly as bad. It should have just been like, on this USB is some weird candy. And it's the
Put it into any computer, the whole internet dies.
No, it doesn't even die, it just becomes weird. I don't know, can you still use it? Kind of. The internet's just kind of weird
The
now.
Wi-Fi drops out occasionally.
Yeah, it does. It takes you to like the opposite of what you want. You want Google, it takes you to Bing. You want Bing, it takes you to Google.
You got a Bing Google. I'm back at Bing.
What happens if you go to Yahoo? I don't know. You die.
You die. That's not a computer virus. That's just generally what happens.
You want to go to Yelp, you get Google review. No, you don't get anything you ever want, you know? Look, that's awful. That's a terrible... I can't get over how poorly written this film is. It's bad. And, I've seen some of this guy's films. I've seen Central Intelligence. Red Notice was a big hit on Netflix, if that means anything. So I really disliked Red Notice. I think Central Intelligence has charm.
That's a comedy. This should be a comedy.
I think this would be fun if this was a comedy, but I guess they're not. But then I guess Red Notice had bits of comedy in it, but it was just...
That doesn't feel like... It's just like, listen, we have a mandate. We need to pretty much make a Marvel film. We don't have the superheroes. We've got 3 actors. Can you do a bit of quips?
I mean, I think it makes you appreciate a Marvel film.
Oh, 100%. But no, they're making a blockbuster, but they haven't got like the backbone of like a superhero to hold it up.
I guess what they're doing is they basically are asking in Red Notice, they're just asking Ryan Reynolds to do what he does.
Yeah.
So he's just like, be Deadpool, but don't be.
Yeah.
And you're like, that's a big shtick I've seen a lot of lately.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm sick of this.
Yeah.
And then you've also got Gal Gadot. I don't know what she's doing.
Nailing it. That's what she's doing.
She's got enough champagne to fill the Nile.
Oh, you're going away, but I watched the film and it's primed. It's so much worse than like you can expect.
Is Armie Hammer fun in it?
The murder is ludicrous. The murder...
Ludicrous Bridges?
Yeah, that's right. He's the murderer.
Is the Gibbs in it as well?
Oh, the Gibbs is investigating.
If the murder was the Gibbs, I'd be very excited. For the listener at home, the Gibbs is a man named Tyrese Gibson.
Anyway, Dwayne's in the street. He looks at the building, it's flaming. He goes, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to scale a similar building. There's a crane on top. He does this and we've seen him run. Oh, he runs up what I can only assume thousands upon thousands of stairs in minutes.
I think they make they make note of the fact that the elevator does not work, so he does have to run up the stairs. And so they just like cut away to another plot and they come back.
Yeah.
And you're like, what?
Again, because he sort of goes, whew, that was tough. Insane.
He's barely out of breath.
Yeah, he's like, all right, let's do it.
He's like, luckily I jumped most of the way. What?
Anyway, this is a scene you've probably seen in the trailer. I think do you remember like all the people doing the diagrams?
Yeah,
of the sky like, doesn't work.
It was like you know what? It's like it's poster child. It's the one sequence that if done correctly, would be fun. I think the jump is like a spectacular sort of shot. If it looks so CG heavy though, but it's like I can understand how if they were like the big middle set piece is him jumping back into a burning building.
That would be cool, but then Mission Impossible 4 came out.
And they nailed it. And they were like, what if we did it for real?
Yeah.
And Dwayne's like, I'm not doing
that.
I'm not doing Have you seen how heavy I am? I can barely fucking run. You're not hanging me out the side of a building.
Tom Cruise, that nimble little rat's just like, I'll do it. I'll jump on a field.
Oh my God. Tom Cruise is just like,
He floats. He floats. How gets the height.
Oh God, that Mission Impossible 4 is so good.
It is really good.
Oh, it makes you just appreciate how well made that movie is in comparison to this.
Yeah.
I do like the fact that they're like Skyscraper. It'll be like Mission Impossible 4. People like that, right?
Yeah.
Him running, he doesn't got enough speed.
No.
I get that everyone's like the trajectory's wrong, but I mean he has not got enough speed. He should just fall.
What's his plan? Is there a broken? Is a slightly open window? I think.
Does he smash through it?
I think so, because I remember like in the
He's a
next
big
scene,
man.
I remember next scene he's got like again glass shards in his belly. He's
Yeah.
like, oh, this hurts. Takes it out, just duct tapes. He's like, all right, back to the mission.
It's also like when you watch movies like Die Hard and Speed, I think what's really missing from movies today is seeing how battered, bruised, bloody, and dirty action stars used to get in their movies. Dwayne's fine. He's got a cut above his eye and he's got a little bit of sweat on him.
Yeah.
He is in absolutely no way.
No danger. And then it's kind of the stakes are gone because you're like, oh, you look at you, you're fucked up.
Yeah.
Like Die Hard, he's broken glass the whole time.
Oh
on
my
his
no!
feet.
Him taking the glass out of his feet is like such a brutal little scene of like that, you know.
Dwayne pulls out a 9-meter shard from his chest.
He's pierced by the top of a building, it seems. The other thing that Dwayne Johnson really hinges all his bets on is duct tape. I don't know if you remember this.
Yeah, no. And like that's like a joke. I feel like 2008, the joke was duct tape fixes everything. And then the Mythbusters kind of got the joke. Yeah. And they did that whole thing. And it's like, haha, but that was 2011. Yeah. This is now.
I think this director's only just discovered Mythbusters. So he thinks it's real fresh.
He's binging all. He's binging it all.
It's just like, I don't know if you could sticky yourself on the exterior of a building.
Oh, that's right. He's like, I got one roll of tape, stab. He's doing the Mission Impossible. Tom Cruise has those high-tech gloves. That failed.
Yeah, I know, right? The fun is that, like, the fun for all those movies is that the technology always fails.
Yeah.
Duct tape?
Duct tape never fails, that's the thing.
Oh, God. Why isn't he just like, oh my, you know what? If you really wanted to do some dumb writing that at least was consistent, it should be like, man, this weird candy's sticky. Super sticky, in fact, and has to like wipe weird candy on his hands.
That'd be fun, but he can't lick his hands. That's the conflict in the micro scene.
It'd be fun if it's acidic, so it's just burning through to the bone while he's trying to crawl across.
It's lemony, though. I can lick this off real good. He's in the building. The leader of the Skyscraper's like, okay, this has gotten a bit out of hand. I'm gonna leave. Immediately gets betrayed by his number 2.
Yep.
And now they've got the device. Wait.
Who knows what they've got?
They've got the USB. But then Dwayne rocks up, takes it. Now we've got pretty much the second in command. They're on like a big bridge. This is like the
that's right.
Yeah, it's weird. So his family's on the other side of the bridge.
Yeah.
Dwayne's on this side of the bridge.
Yeah.
The evil guy's like, I got the USB and I got your family. What are you gonna do?
Dwayne's like, I don't know, probably hit you.
He hits him.
Yep. And that's done.
Yeah.
Weird.
But then we get the fun scene. Oh yeah, it's the same scene, and they've got a plank and they have to walk across it. But it's so CGI heavy, you can almost see like the pad mats like in the fire.
This is a movie that has zero suspense.
Yeah.
It's just like, you don't believe they're going to kill a kid or the wife.
No.
It's like the other thing is you're just like, it's been so PG as a film.
Yeah.
That it's like...
Well, no, hang on, they blew up a child in the first scene. They've established they're okay with killing kids.
The kid's on the plank and Dwayne's like, you've got to hurry up. I've accidentally let loose a grenade and I'm going to roll it towards you. It's not my fault, but my buddy just does this. If I see a kid in trouble, I will roll a grenade towards them.
It's the stakes, okay? Here's the plank. Go, go, go. Anyway, but before he can save his family, one of the doors gets captured by the main villains.
Yeah.
They're brought up to like the secret lair because they're trying to open the titanium doors because they can't get to the USB yet.
But doesn't Noah have the USB?
No, I think they killed...
Why do they need the USB and the iPad?
The iPad controls the building. The USB was what they want. They kill the leader. It's confusing and it shouldn't be.
It's like, because there's so many villains. So there's also a mercenary who's broken in through a very comedic hole at the bottom of the building.
Yeah.
Do you remember this? It looks like he's going to like pop his head out of the hole and go, "That's all, folks." It's that sort of hole of a portal.
It is a Porky Pig as well.
Oh, it is.
That is the mercenary.
He's so Porky-like. He's dressed like him, pantsless with a bow tie.
Yeah.
And he's pulling it off.
Gun just stuck to his side, sweat and blood.
with duct tape. So I know. Look, Dwayne Johnson puts his wife and one of his kids in just like a in an elevator and is like free fall and then pull this after 10 seconds.
Yeah.
She's like, cool, what are we basing this on?
Just vibe.
Vibe it out.
Just vibe it out.
Decide when you decide to do it.
Here's the thing, you're a child, there's no grenades in sight, you're probably gonna live.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So,
got one here. Good luck.
So they get out there fine, but the daughter's been taken by the mercenary.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
It's just so weird to me that you've got this mercenary that isn't just Dwayne's friend from the beginning of the film that got fucked over.
Yeah.
Like, why do you need 4 villains?
There's so many villains, aren't there? We're not even going to touch on the subplot because it kind of resolves itself, but essentially it shows how
We're not going to touch on it because I do not remember it.
No.
I do not remember it, but it pads out the film.
Yeah. which is not great for us.
Oh, it's not good for us.
No.
Here's the thing, guys. If you don't have the plot for a full-length feature, don't pad it out.
Can you imagine this is a short film?
Oh my god, if this was 8 minutes, I'd froth it. I'd froth it. If it was just, I ate a weird candy, hard cut to the building on fire. Wow, where are we going with this?
This candy has potential. The film's called Hard Candy.
So, I wonder where the big climax of the movie is going to be.
Yeah.
Oh, it's in the Pearl.
Oh, yeah,
it's in the Pearl. So, it's weird. I think they do this thing where it's like, oh, where am I? And he multiplies himself on the cameras on all the things. And I'm like, I don't know. It's very clearly just like, I don't know, the big bulging man that is The Rock. If he was to be running at you, you'd just hear... like stomping,
like Jurassic Park. You've got the glass of water. All right, I'm fine. There's no fucking puddles.
Because don't you remember the beginning of the movie? Is he walks in, and is just like, he's like, "This is the 8th wonder of the world," and he's like, "Wow, you've done a good job." And the owner of the building's like, "That's not me. I'm over here."
Dwayne freaks out. He's like, "Fucking hell! This is a
Oh my
pyramid
God.
level of."
How'd you do this? And he's like, I walked behind you accidentally when we entered. I got confused where you were too. Here's the best thing about the 9th wonder of the world. It's confusing.
It resets up the film. Just like, you're going to be a bit disorientated, a bit dizzy.
You'll be very confused.
Yeah.
I think it's fun that they're just like, people love being confused, right?
But anyway, I think Dwayne has the chip, but they still have the daughter.
Yeah.
They're up in the Pearl.
Yeah.
The villain's like about to shoot the girl off the
Oh, it's just like he keeps coming up with the easiest solutions, isn't it? Like he's like, I think he's like, I'm about to shoot the girl.
He's about to shoot. He's standing like millimeters from the edge of the cliff. He's like, it's fine. There's a bunch of mirrors of Dwayne. I think I've got this in the bag. Dwayne in the middle runs through him. He's like, I don't know which one's which.
He's like, I'll just tackle you off and hope the kid survives.
Yeah.
I'll do what I usually do. He's got multiple grenades on him, ready to roll at the child. He calls up his wife. He's like, look, we lost our daughter, but this is a win for me.
Yeah, I needed this.
We got out of here with one kid, so that's fine.
I found a leg. Maybe they can attach it.
Yeah, look, that's pretty much the film. Have you got anything else to add?
Well, I just remember that, like, the film's, like, kind of over. They're like, great. The building's on fire still.
Yeah.
And I think the subplot is they just turn it off the fans. And,
yeah, I don't know what...
But the building's fucked.
Oh, the building's
gone. It's a hazard for the rest of the city.
It's one of those really funny things because they're in the helicopter getting taken away to safety.
Yeah.
The man who made the building looks out at the burning one, puts his hand against the window, and they're like, what are you going to do next? And he looks at it and goes, rebuild. That shouldn't be the takeaway. The whole thing is it's like man's need to touch the sky is like always the downfall of man. So I love that his takeaway is like, I'll just get some more mafia money.
Yeah, here's the thing. I feel like here's the thing. Other than the whole building burning up,
Yeah.
it worked.
He's like floors 0 to 60 are fine.
Yeah.
So he's like, I guess we just need to find that witch again.
Yeah. She has a
and
spell, I think. That's how we got most of the lower levels fixed.
her
She did the
floors-
car park.
You can never find where your car is. It's always just horses and carriages now. You're like, shit.
God fucking damn, it got turned to a pumpkin.
Oh my god, do you realize how expensive a horse is? It's almost like a win.
Any final thoughts on Skyscraper, Carl? Do we love Dwayne? Has he done... Listen, these films are just to be watched and forgotten.
Yeah.
I think that's really it.
I know. Well, look, because I think we brought it up in the when we first reviewed it,
Yeah.
and then we did the pre-record the week before of our pre-movie thoughts. And I don't think I've brought it up this episode yet, but I did see this in a cinema, and it was like the year Dwayne just had everything.
He had Rampage, which we've done. We did Skyscraper. He had...
I think Jumanji's that year,
Jumanji,
potentially. I'm just going to double check. It was a year where I was like, God, I'm seeing a lot of Dwayne Johnson in cinemas, and they're all bad.
Yeah.
It was...
I saw Jumanji in a cinema, and I thought it was okay.
Jumanji's a good adventure film,
Yeah.
my opinion. Like, honestly, Jumanji's better than, like, the new Uncharted.
Yeah.
So,
I tried watching that second one, though. I just turned it off. I couldn't finish it.
I mean, it's just retreading the
Yeah.
first one. So, like, over the course of 3 years, he had Central Intelligence, Moana, Fate of the Furious, Baywatch, Jumanji, Rampage, Skyscraper. So,
Damn, he must have been the highest paid actor. Like,
3 years in a row or
Yeah.
something, surely. Oh, God, that Baywatch movie's fucking atrocious. A Baywatch movie shouldn't be over 2 hours long.
no, that's crazy. And what is it like? Is it kind of like taking fun of the first one, like the actual like? I think it could be a meta with it. It could.
I mean, it's got a little bit of meta-ness to it,
Yeah.
but like, it's still that's just a terrible film.
Yeah.
That should be 90 minutes. That should be 80 minutes.
I don't really want to do that for the podcast. I don't think there's anything.
No, there's
like,
not.
No.
There is the longest gag of a guy has his just penis caught between a chair,
Yeah.
and every actor coming over, and it just seems like they've improved their reaction. And their reaction, you know, that type of comedy that's just describing what you're seeing on screen in a funny way.
Yeah, like, oh god, he's
Yeah,
penis in
oh.
a chair. Oh, I can't watch.
It looks like a wall made out with a walrus.
Yeah.
Like, you know, just like weird, like observation things, but it's like they let every actor do that and then
Yeah.
didn't cut any of them.
Ugh.
So you're just like, oof, is this the entirety of the film? And then the answer is yes.
Ugh.
So, big shame.
I don't know. Like, I've got much thought, but that like style of film that's just like a bit of improv.
Yeah.
I like hate. I wish they'd just give him like a proper script. And,
Yeah. I mean, I really like Judd
I
Apatow.
was gonna say I just like some of those ones. I'm a bit like there's bits that go on for a bit too long. Some of them are funny.
Mm.
Sometimes the improv works. Sometimes it just drags. Maybe with the more newer ones.
Yeah. I mean, I think he's got like a good situation of like, he'll write a drama
Yeah.
and then they kind of like film that, and then they sort of, the comedy comes from actors
Yeah.
in and around.
Which
when
makes
getting-
sense. Like have a structural dramatic one
Yeah.
and then interject it with a bit of comedy.
Yeah. Because
But-
I always like his films because if I'm not enjoying comedy, at least I can latch onto story.
Yeah.
Whereas ones that are really just no story and all comedy, but
That's a
the
bit-
comedy's not landing, you're
No.
like, cool, so what am I meant to be enjoying?
Yeah. 100%.
Anyway, back to Skyscraper.
Yeah.
Oscar, who would watch Skyscraper?
This film is meant to be consumed. That's it. You watch it, you consume it, and then you forget about it.
That's fun.
That's all. That's it. Who's buying the Blu-ray of?
Would you watch this
Skyscraper?
one?
I watched it on 4K. I'm not. When I say who would buy this on Blu-ray, I mean why would you get an inferior product to watch Dwayne The Rock Johnson? That's really what I'm trying to say.
He looks great on 4K.
Yeah, here's the thing. It was beckoning. It was very fucking terrifying. It's more of a horror film when you see
Yeah.
Dwayne in 4K.
It's one of those movies I wouldn't be surprised just comes with a 4K TV. They're like, look, you buy the TV, you get Skyscraper.
It does feel like one of those PlayStation bundles. They're like,
Oh,
hey,
yeah.
you bought a PlayStation, get a remote, and the Skyscraper video game, it seems. Oh, God, okay, here we go.
Yeah.
Carl, who would watch Skyscraper? Now. Not in cinema.
I assume Ryan Reynolds and Gal Gadot gave it a watch to see whether they wanted to work on Red Notice.
I like they hadn't heard of Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Who's this unknown? A wrestler goes by The Rock? I need to see some of his filmography.
You're like, no thank you. No, but they did do that film. Is this worse than Red Notice?
I started Red Notice, and it's very much like, if you like that, like, Ryan Reynolds, I don't think it's Ryan Reynolds at his best, like, doing that sort of stuff. It feels just like, oh, it's just actually a bit painful. No, it's them doing, it feels like actors, but like their persona of an actor, just doing the parts, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's just, it definitely feels like but like, who's 3 successful people at this very moment?
Yeah.
Put them in a film.
Yeah.
The other thing that always annoyed me in Red Notice was I know
I got up to the jail scene. That's why I got.
It's like, why are they even in jail?
Yeah.
Like, it's just such a long. Why does Dwayne need to be framed as being a villain? Like, it's like, oh, he's an innocent man that's been framed every fucking film.
Yeah. In fairness, you look at Dwayne, you go, wow, you've killed kids.
You roll grenades at the first sight of a child. It's just like one of those movies where I know that it was disrupted by COVID, but it's a globe-trotting film, and it looks like they never went to a location.
Yeah.
And I know that and I remember it came out around the time No Time to Die came out, and that movie went everywhere, and it looked incredible, that it's just like, what are you giving if it's like, you're like, oh cool, we're in Venice. Not really. It's Florida. Like,
it's Dwayne on like a single like puddle. It's like, we're not cutting. We're just having this angle.
Yeah.
Don't look away. Didn't that cost the same as like?
It costs so much money.
So much money.
The other thing is also like, I find that when you've got a real big reliance on green screen for big locations, the movie ends up feeling small because you can never actually end up getting those big wide shots.
Yeah.
So it doesn't feel like
you got constant media.
Yeah, it's like you haven't filled the screen with extras to the brim. It doesn't feel like there's like a bustling of, it doesn't feel like you're in a populated area.
No.
And when things aren't populated, I just don't think it's real.
No, it feels very empty.
Yeah. So, palate cleanser, Oscar?
Carl, I watched Tropic Thunder again. I like Tropic Thunder. I think it's pretty good comedy. I think it sort of ties back into what we were talking about comedy. It's got a really nice script. I think it really works very well. It's very quick. It's only like an hour 40.
Yeah.
I think it's funny. I think it's a nice, fun satire on that, like, that 2000. I think it's a little bit changed now, but like that sort of like Hollywood revealing just like just how like insecure these actors are, and just like what lengths they'll go to get an Oscar.
Yeah.
I think it's really funny. I think it's one of Ben Stiller's best work. Robert Downey Jr. I didn't realize he got nominated for an Oscar for that performance. Crazy.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
You know what's also good about Tropic Thunder? It looks great.
They're
on location in the jungle.
You know what? I looked up this. The cinematographer had done a bunch of war movies as well.
Oh, sick.
It's really fun. I think, it's funny. I think it's them a lot. They're the best. I don't really have much to say about it. I just think it's a very strong comedy.
Yeah.
And I think that script definitely works well with it. Oh, and I actually showed it to a friend who had never heard of Tropic Thunder, and was like, because we didn't explain to her what's going on, and then Robert Downey Jr. shows up on screen and Tom Cruise gets on screen, and she didn't realize for half an hour into the film what she was actually watching. To then see Robert Downey Jr. in blackface, she's like, "Holy shit!"
I do love him as the Australian as well.
I think that's a very clever way of going blackface. Oh, he's actually playing an Australian.
I also really enjoy all of the fake trailers before the movie.
Yeah, it's a good way to establish those characters pretty quick, and just like what they're trying to represent.
Yeah.
Carl, palate cleanser?
Watched Richie Rich.
The Kevin...
the Colin McCarthy one.
Yeah.
Because I recently watched, what's it called? North by Northwest.
Yeah?
Like the stage play.
Gotcha.
And when we left, one of the friends I'd watched it with, he was like, it was like the ending of Richie Rich. And I was like, yeah, they're doing a riff on it. And he was like, oh... And I just hadn't thought about Richie Rich in a long time, and I was like, I'm gonna rewatch that. And you know what? It's probably nostalgia, but it's good.
I remember watching as a child and going, that's good. That's a bit of fun.
Look, some of it is not good, and some of it's kind of boring, but I did appreciate that is a movie that spends a lot of money making him seem like the richest kid.
Yeah.
Like, I think they just do, in comparison to like Blank Check,
Yeah.
like this movie definitely seemed more in tune as to like what would a kid really want if they were rich, and that's like a McDonald's in their home, roller coaster in their backyard.
I remember the outdoor stuff was nuts, like the big like trampoline.
Yeah, like threw them onto a trampoline and things like that. So yeah,
love that.
So that holds up. Oscar, what are we reviewing next week?
Carl, next week we're doing Robin Williams' classic Flubber. It's got a bit of green goo that could sustain an hour.
Oh, surely could sustain an hour. Kids comedy classic.
You like slime? We got a movie about slime.
So it was just during that time where they were like, because I remember the second Ghostbusters is also all about slime.
Yeah.
You're like, ugh.
Here's the thing.
Why is everything so slimy?
The Teen Choice Awards really nailed slime. They were like, how fun slime.
Why bother competing?
Yeah.
You know? Why bother doing it? But hey, is Flubber a Nickelodeon film by any chance? Who made Flubber? I guess we'll discuss it next week.
We'll find out who made Flubber.
We'll find out who made Flubber. Join us next week when we discover who made Flubber.
That's a new podcast we're doing.
Goodbye. Bye.